The Atlantic hurricane season is once again making headlines, this time with Tropical Storm Melissa striking the Dominican Republic's capital, Santo Domingo. Between October 23rd and 24th, 2025, the city was hit by relentless rain and powerful winds. Melissa moved slowly across the region, dumping heavy rainfall that led to flash floods and landslides, disrupting daily life across the capital. Thankfully, early reports suggest that Santo Domingo may have avoided the worst possible destruction. Videos and eyewitness accounts showed city streets turning into rushing rivers as drainage systems struggled to handle the sudden downpour. Cars were seen battling through waist-deep water, while smaller landslides caused damage in some areas. Residents shared images online of fallen trees, snapped power lines, and flooded homes. Some neighborhoods even lost electricity for hours. The U.S. Embassy in Santo Domingo issued a weather alert on October 23rd, warning locals and travelers to stay alert for flash floods and strong winds. While Santo Domingo endured tough conditions, meteorologists say the real danger may now be shifting toward other parts of the Caribbean, especially Jamaica and southern Haiti, where Melissa could strengthen even further. The storm's unpredictable and slow movement caused major concern across the region. Meteorologists from the National Hurricane Center warned that the system could bring life-threatening flash floods and landslides as it continued to strengthen. According to reports, parts of southern Haiti and the southern Dominican Republic could see up to 14 inches of rain, or even more, depending on how the storm, named Melissa, shifts in direction and intensity. In response, the Dominican Republic's Emergency Operations Center issued a red alert for several provinces, including Santo Domingo. This meant residents needed to brace for powerful winds, heavy rainfall, and dangerous flooding. Officials urged citizens to stay informed through the COE's official app and website for the latest updates. During a national address, COE Director Juan Manuel Mendez emphasized the importance of remaining indoors or seeking safety in official shelters. He pleaded with people to stay calm, stay safe, and avoid taking unnecessary risks. While Santo Domingo managed to avoid a direct hit from the storm's most destructive core, the event served as a strong reminder of just how vulnerable the region remains. History shows that the city has faced devastating hurricanes before, some of them catastrophic, leaving widespread damage and loss of life. From powerful Category 4 and 5 hurricanes that flattened entire neighborhoods to severe Category 3 storms that battered the southern coastline with flooding and destruction, Santo Domingo knows the power of nature all too well. Over the past few years, the Dominican Republic has faced one powerful storm after another. Hurricanes like Fiona in 2022 and Franklin in 2023 slammed into the region with strong winds and relentless flooding. Even though Santo Domingo wasn't hit the hardest, the message was clear. The Caribbean is becoming more vulnerable with every passing year. As ocean waters continue to warm, storms are growing stronger, faster, and more destructive. This rising temperature gives tropical systems the fuel they need to intensify, leaving communities across the Dominican Republic at greater risk than ever before. From flooding and coastal erosion to major damage to homes, roads, and power lines, the country faces serious challenges. That's why global organizations, including the World Bank, are stepping in to help strengthen climate resilience, especially for families living in high-risk areas. Now, with Tropical Storm Melissa sweeping across the Caribbean, Santo Domingo once again finds itself on alert. Heavy rain, flash flooding, and strong winds have already caused significant damage in parts of the island. Local authorities are working around the clock to assess the situation and protect residents. Officials are urging everyone to stay cautious, follow weather alerts, and remain prepared as the region moves deeper into the most active stretch of the Atlantic hurricane season. Events like this are a stark reminder: climate change isn't a distant threat. It's here, reshaping lives and landscapes across the Caribbean today. This report covers the latest updates on Tropical Storm Melissa's impact across the Dominican Republic, connecting the dots between past disasters and the growing urgency to adapt and prepare for what's ahead. The powerful Tropical Storm Melissa swept across the region, unleashing widespread flooding, mudslides, and power outages. Entire neighborhoods were left underwater, roads were torn apart, and thousands were forced to leave their homes as the storm continued to strengthen, threatening to turn into a full-blown Hurricane Point 1. As Melissa drew closer, the National Emergency Center declared the highest level of alert across several provinces, including major areas like Greater Sto. Domingo, Montipla, and San Crisol. Authorities quickly went into action, warning people living in high-risk zones to evacuate and urging everyone else to stay indoors until conditions improved. Government offices and public schools in the hardest-hit regions were shut down to keep people safe and allow emergency crews to respond faster. Officials, led by SOE Director Juan Manuel Mendez, made it clear safety came first. Melissa's most devastating effect came not from wind, but from relentless rain. Non-stop downpours turned city streets into violent rivers. Videos shared online showed cars being swept away, homes buried underwater, and families escaping to rooftops and higher ground just to survive. In the mountain regions, the soaked hillsides couldn't hold any longer. Massive landslides crashed down, cutting off roads and burying everything in their path. Southern Hispaniola, including parts of the Dominican Republic, faced the greatest danger from these deadly slides. The flooding caused severe damage to key infrastructure. Dozens of water systems failed, leaving more than 500,000 people without clean water. Bridges collapsed, highways were blocked, and entire towns were left isolated as rescue teams struggled to reach them. While Santo Domingo took a major hit, the storm's impact stretched far beyond the capital. Different parts of the Dominican Republic faced varying levels of destruction, depending on how close they were to the storm's path and the shape of the land. Meteorologists warned that some areas could see rainfall totals of up to 14 inches, or even higher in certain spots. That much rain brings the risk of catastrophic flash flooding and dangerous landslides. This disaster comes less than a year after the deadly floods of November 2023, caused by another tropical system. That event killed at least 21 people, including 9 who lost their lives when a tunnel wall collapsed in Santo Domingo. It was a heartbreaking reminder of just how vulnerable the country is to extreme weather. Tropical Storm Melissa now adds another chapter to that story, showing how climate change is fueling stronger and more frequent storms across the region. According to the World Risk Index, the Dominican Republic ranks among the countries most at risk of natural disasters. Its island geography, rapid urban growth, and environmental challenges only make matters worse. The World Bank estimates that climate-related events can cause economic losses of up to 1% of the country's GDP each year. Sadly, it's the poorest communities that suffer the most, often living in high-risk areas with limited resources to recover. To help, global organizations like the World Bank are supporting projects aimed at strengthening climate resilience, from improving infrastructure to protecting essential social services. Now that Tropical Storm Melissa has moved away from the Dominican Republic, the nation is shifting its focus to recovery and rebuilding. Emergency teams are working around the clock to restore power, reopen roads, and support families who were forced from their homes. This event highlights a powerful truth. The Dominican Republic urgently needs stronger, smarter infrastructure to handle the growing challenges of a changing climate. More investment in resilient systems, reliable early warnings, and community preparedness isn't just important, it's essential. As Tropical Storm Melissa drifts slowly away from Hispaniola, the storm's effects will linger across Santo Domingo and beyond. The recovery won't be quick. The impact will be felt for weeks, maybe even months. This disaster will no doubt become a major talking point when shaping the country's future climate adaptation and disaster prevention strategies. What's clear now is that Santo Domingo's outdated drainage systems can no longer keep up. The city needs urgent upgrades, bigger, stronger, and smarter infrastructure that can prevent future flooding disasters. At the same time, stricter building rules and smarter zoning laws are critical, especially in high-risk areas where the most vulnerable communities live. Public education also plays a big role. People need to understand how to respond when storms hit. Investing in advanced warning systems and disaster training can save lives and reduce destruction when the next big storm arrives. The recent heavy rains and flooding in Mau are not isolated incidents. They're part of a larger climate pattern affecting the whole region. Experts say that while places like Laguna were once known for dry spells, the climate crisis is flipping the script, bringing sudden, intense bursts of rain instead. The combination of drought-prone land and weak flood control systems makes every downpour even more dangerous.